welcome back to the Honey Podcast. I'm Celine. Here is Dani. And today we are joined by some very, very, very special guests. Keep in touch. We have Jad and James.
Hello.
They're an incredible musical duo. I met them quite some time ago, and I've been following them ever since. So I'm really excited to hop in, talk about your journey, what you have coming up, what's out, all that jazz. So how are you guys today?
Not too bad. Kind of cold. It's really cold outside over here in Toronto.
It is. But we're prepping for our next single to come out. We have some plans. We have an EP. We have a music video lined up, but we'll see what quarantine guidelines suggest.
Trying to stay busy, but we also can't be too busy because there's laws and stuff that
definitely it's hard to promote music. I'm sure you guys just are itching to do live shows and get to meet all your supporters, and it's definitely a hard time for I feel like any artist right now, no matter your medium. But
it was weird at the very start of it, because we played in other bands and stuff before, and we'd always we played a lot of shows beforehand, and you always have people inviting you out to shows all the time. And at the start of this, it was kind of nice to get a break from because it was almost in Toronto, almost every night there's something happening, and every night you have to you want to be supportive and go out and support everybody, but also it just gets tiring and you burn out after a while. So for a while it was kind of nice to have a break from live shows, but now it's just no, we need them back.
We're all huge music fans here. Speaking of live shows, what's your favorite show you've ever gone to?
Ooh, I think mine, and part of it is for sentimental reasons, but there's this really awesome Canadian punk band called Pup, and I remember they had a live show in a library, which just feels like the most punk thing to do, to have a show inside a library. So that was awesome, and it was a free show. I lost a shoe, so it's got fond memories.
That is awesome.
Those are the best kind of shows.
Totally. And how about you?
It's a bit of a toss-up. I saw Lorde play here, which was really cool. She was really good. And it was the other bands we used to play in, we used to always play in dive bars and stuff. It was nice to go to an arena and watch a show, and it's wow, people are keeping their distance, and it's you those tiny shows can be fun sometimes, and it's a lot of energy, but they could be exhausting also. So it was nice to be able to just chill, and there's AC, and it was nice. So for that reason, and the production and stuff was great, so it was an enjoyable experience. And I also saw Julia Michaels. It was in a smaller a theater type place, and the crowd was just louder than the speakers even, and it was just it was an insane show. So that was the last show I went to before everything locked down, so that one's a little special.
Oh, that definitely. Those are always the best shows. I love the ones that are so intimate, where it's you can look on stage and I can see your eyes. That's so cool. I always get that.
That's seriously, you're real. That is such a mood. Going from little punk shows and how exhausting they are. That is the biggest truth. Now that I'm older, I'm I love a sit down show. I love that shit.
Once in a while, standing up and going up in the pit is nice, but I like when there's assigned seating and
there's a nice little bar section I can stand in. I'm totally about that.
You could go to the washroom and come back, and it's
I still remember at one of our shows there was a mosh pit, and at one of the part Jad's soloing and I jump into the crowd, and I think I jumped straight into someone's elbow.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Right in my stomach. I had to sprint back on stage, go to the side area, and throw up in a bucket, and then come back on and play the rest of the song. So I've had some rough experiences with mosh pits in the past.
For sure.
I definitely avoid them.
They're not easy. I used to be all about them, and I'm not even that old, but once 25 hit, I was I can't do this anymore.
That's when it all goes down.
You just after a while you get over it. It's just okay, this was fun the first 100 times, but now it's
now I don't want to fight people anymore.
Exactly. There's always one person just going absolutely crazy.
Yep.
That is for sure. You guys have some really awesome songs, and they're honestly on a daily rotation for me just because you guys really do have that vibe that's like, if you listen to the lyrics, it's like, fuck. But then if you're just vibing out, you're like, this is like, it's like, you get me, like, you can cry to it, but you can also like vibe out. So I really appreciate everything that you guys have. Your newest single, Life Sucks, really good.
So good.
Applause.
Thanks so much.
I really like it. I remember you guys first, when I found out about you, you guys messaged me on Twitter, and you were like, hey, can you help me just like listen to the song, just listen to it and love it, and it was Stuck on You, which feels like it was forever ago, but you definitely made a fan out of me. And I gotta applaud you guys though for that marketing. Like,
thanks.
I really like that guerrilla marketing style of just like genuinely wanting to connect. So yeah, like what made you guys like get into that? And
it was like one of the big things from the other bands we played in. A lot of people would always tell us like, I really like how interactive you guys are with just people online and stuff. And like the previous bands we were in, we would do things where like we'd make music videos and run ads, and we tried like that type of marketing, but we also tried the same approach of like just talking to people directly. And from experience, that just seemed to like yield better results. It just like, obviously you get ignored 99.9% of the times, but like the people who actually reply are always just like really nice and genuine. So that like, we just saw like, one, we like to do it and we like to talking to people, and two, you actually get to make like a meaningful connection and get to know the people who listen to your stuff, as opposed to just ads where you just float them out there and you never know who's actually paying attention.
Yeah, I think also one of the big things was that I don't know, like looking back at the way some bands like approached the music industry and approached their fans, was it felt very much like a complete numbers game, which I get. And there's that stress of like, oh, I'm small, I need to somehow stand out and get the numbers and get, where I need to go. But it kind of felt like there was a disconnect between them and the fans. And you'd see that with like, you wouldn't have people coming back to listen to the next songs that they were getting out. You wouldn't have, constant people coming to their shows. And I think it's hard to build a community like that when it's just like a bunch of individuals who might listen to you one or two times.
Yeah. And like at the end of the day too, it's just like managing your goals as an artist and what you want to do. And to us, it's like, I know the reason I want to do this isn't for like clout or whatever. It's just because I like making songs, and we've been doing this for like, if I was in this for anything other than making music, I would have quit a long time ago. Because we've been in like 3-4 other bands. We've been like through ups and downs, mostly downs, to be honest. So it's if I wasn't in this for like the right reasons, I feel like I would have stopped a long time ago. And the right reasons to me is to like, it's not about like someone's ego. It's not about you as the artist. It's about creating something that people could bond to. It's about the song at the end of the day. Like, who gives a shit who the artist is? Who cares? It's about making a good song that other people could connect with. And that's kind of, and any way you could get them to actually listen to it is awesome. And I just found that personally one of my, I don't want to call it a strength because I don't know if I'm good at it, but like I like talking to people, and like I'm a good listener, and I like when people message, I like, hear them out and provide advice or whatever. So like I like that connection of talking to people. I feel like that's one thing that I have going for me that I might not have, elsewhere. So
yeah, and you guys are really great at building a community. I'm in your guys' Discord server, which is like it's like so awesome how Discord's being utilized now. And I love that you guys genuinely are building a connection with your fans, and your little pen pals. I think that's the cutest thing ever. So I definitely wanted to like shout that out because I think it's really great what you guys are doing, and it's very genuine, which is very hard to find in this industry.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think both of us are really shocked by how well the Discord server ended up working out.
Yeah.
Because like I've seen people who like are making genuine connections with each other. And it's like you guys met over one of our songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the coolest thing to see. Just like people becoming friends over that. It's kind of unreal. This like these people didn't know each other 5 months ago, you know,
Yeah.
and now they talk every
Like
day. Which
no
is,
matter what happens, it's like cool. That's something we helped with,
yeah, no,
and that's such a dope feeling.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Definitely.
they're all so nice. Like it's insane. Yeah.
Everyone in there's so
So
nice.
wholesome.
It is.
No.
It is.
We were terrified that like
Yeah.
I really hope there's not
You never know.
because like we personally we spend time talking to each of the people who is in the server, so because we don't want to let just anyone in and you know something terrible happens, but
Right.
you know we're human, we make mistakes, so
Right.
some days I'm like, oh, I really hope someone doesn't say something terrible to someone else.
Yeah. I mean, we have rules and stuff in place for that, but at the same time, you don't want to like. Hopefully, everybody's just chill and nobody says
Yeah.
anything. Everybody
Right.
seems to
Everyone
be,
has been.
yeah. Everybody seems to be really nice. It's like, as somebody like I'm a pretty cynical person in general, but like meeting a lot of these people has kind of changed my outlook on like, oh, there are nice, good
Nice
people out
people.
there in the world.
Yeah.
I
Who, you
think
know,
it's definitely because you guys have such a good energy about yourselves that like you're bringing in that good energy.
I hope so. That's good to hear.
Because those kind of things can definitely get messy. So I'm glad it's like not the case for you guys.
Thank you.
That is for sure. Out of like the music making process, from either writing lyrics, producing, instrumental, performing, what's your favorite part about that process? Or even like the release? Like there's so many different parts. They all have their benefits.
They all have like cool aspects to them.
I mean, I get quick shout out to our producer for starters.
Oh, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's really good.
Sunjung. He also has a music project, DVII. He's incredible. He's a really good listener when it comes to making our mixes and to not just doing the mixing and the mastering, but also contributing ideas of what the drum beat could be, of what alternative melodies and things.
I think these days a lot of the times like the term producer gets thrown around a little loosely, and in our case, I mean that's fine, things evolve, but to me like a producer nowadays seems to be like the person who makes the beat, and that's not really the case like how I see production. It's more so like we bring him the song. Sometimes we have ideas of like where we want to take it, or sometimes we have like a specific thing. Sometimes we just have like
here's the
a
chords
riff and a few chords and the words, and he kind of sits there and you know he shapes it musically. So the producer does a lot more than just making the beat. It's like they make sure the song itself is built properly around like
and we couldn't do it without him.
And that, I think to me that's like the songwriting, and then going over to his place, which we haven't been able to do for months now because of like lockdown restrictions, but to me that's kind of my favorite part, and which is why this has been like very hard not being able to go, because before like lockdown happened, we recorded a bunch of songs, and all the songs we've been releasing like have been done since February or March. And since everything locked down, we've been writing a lot more songs, and like we've learned a lot more things since then. And like the songs you hear now they were recorded about a year ago, but they were written almost like 2 years ago, right? So it's kind of like looking at yourself 2 years back and going, oh my God, like, there's things we could do better. There's things we learned, right? So, and it's just frustrating that we can't even go and make new songs because of all that. But to me, that's like, because we haven't really done much performing with this project, I'd say like that's my favorite part at the moment. I don't know, like playing shows was fun before, but back then we were just playing instruments. So it was like, we would do like background vocals and stuff, but like playing guitar on stage is definitely less stressful than having to sing on stage. So I don't know if I would like how that, since we haven't really done it, like I'm not sure if I end up liking it or not, but I think I would, because I enjoyed playing shows before, so I don't see why not. But
I think my favorite part of the process is coming up with the concepts of songs, whereas I think I see and I talk to everyone like, oh, we're like, where do you get your song ideas? How do they come to you? How do you start actually writing the song and piecing it together? And for me, it always starts with either like a story I want to tell through the song, or I have like one really strong image or idea. I'm like, that's it. And there's this like that like little giddy like kid on Christmas, like, oh, I know it. I know what I want to do. This is gonna be so fun.
That's exciting.
I'm glad he likes that part, because I don't really like that.
That's why it works.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely like the writing, the melodies part / like the actual nitty gritty of the songwriting. I prefer that to like the concepts. Unless I have a specific concept in mind, then I just kind of roll. But I just find I'd rather somebody pick a concept and then I work with it than having to pick the concept myself.
Yeah, and it's honestly really, and I don't even know how this happened. Like we've known each other for so long, but like I'm I feel like I'm iconically terrible at finishing songs. Like there are a few of the songs that we've written or released where it was either one or the other of us who wrote basically like the whole thing. But so many of my songs, I'm like, all right, cool. I've got a verse, I've got a chorus, I've got a bridge, and I'm tapped out. Jad, please finish the rest.
Yeah. And I usually like, that's the thing is I'll either have like a whole thing done or just nothing at all. And we have to kind of, I'm a very like extreme person. It's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
And usually he brings stuff in and I like having something to work with to start. Like I said, unless I have a very specific thing of what I want, I usually like having something to work with. So I'm usually the one cutting out a lot of things, going like less words, less lines. This could be like a little more. Yeah, I'm very minimalistic when it comes to that, to the song.
Yeah, no, he's honestly, Jad is one of the best editors that I've ever worked with when it comes to songwriting. Like there are so many times where I'm writing something and we, I've written something with a friend or whatever, and we finish the song. I'm like, all right, cool, let's edit and tweak it. And they're like, huh? what do you mean change it? The song's done. I'm like, but a lot of these were just placeholders, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, you can say yes.
Like every line we put, not so much this like the earlier songs because we were just kind of starting out, but the stuff we've been recently writing, like every line has been shut down at least like 5 to 6 times before we came up with like unless it was something that was absolutely, I'm like, wow, this is really good off the first start, like the first time I heard it. It's even the stuff I write is just like, I'll purposely just write placeholder stuff so that I know we could like improve on it later. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was never like that when it came to school. Like I would never write a first draft. I would just write my essay and hand it in. But I think that's what taught me how to like cut stuff out. It's because I would never like, I would just kind of go in there and
I go right for it.
And just trying to make it. I always try to think of like, how's the person reading this gonna feel? And that's kind of how it is with songs. It's like, how's the person listening to this? We want to make like the message and the emotion of the song as clear as possible. And I find that by streamlining it, it kind of helps as opposed to trying to fit in too many words and just confusing people. And it ends up being like, are you trying to show off your vocabulary skills? Like no one cares about that. Like, people just want to like relate and
they want to understand it.
Exactly. And a lot of like, we have a lot of listeners who like English isn't their first language. So kind of have to like stay mindful of that. And like, not everyone in the world speaks English. So you have to kind of make a song where you can still understand what's going on and still appreciate it and still get that feeling out of it without, knowing every single word in the English language.
Yeah. We definitely do go down a rabbit hole some days of like, whether a word should be and, or if it should be like in or something like that. And just like, I'm like, we will be like very vocally like one or the other. Like you are insane if you think it should be and. I will kill you where you stand.
Yeah, and then usually you like take a bit of a break, and a couple days later it becomes obvious. Like,
what are we fighting about?
Exactly. Yeah, we definitely get very specific when it comes to that.
Those arguments, I think that just comes with like being best friends, though.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Especially if you're like in a creative project together, it's just bound to happen.
Well, that's the thing is like if I'm working with people that I don't know very well, it's kind of hard. I try to push myself to speak up my mind, but a lot of the times, unless it's like something that's super urgent, I kind of will just be relaxed about it. But with him, if he like pitches something that I don't like, I'll just
that sucked.
I swear there's one quote that Jad always likes to say, where it's an interview of Paul McCartney talking about how many times John Lennon has complimented his songwriting. Like, it was only once.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. I feel you, Paul. I feel you.
I know what you're saying. That
I
is
feel like
amazing.
you can't hand out the compliments to
You have
like
to throw them
your-
out there.
yeah, exactly. You have to mean something, right?
Gotta
So,
earn it.
Yeah.
I think it's like that's how we would rather write anyways, because I'm definitely, both of us are very passive people, so it's like we don't want to step on someone's toes or make it seem that like we don't like their ideas or we don't think that they're great musicians. But we don't, we know we hate each other, so we can be open with each other.
I love
How
that.
long have you guys known each other?
I was just about to ask that.
I read your minds.
You did.
Since we were like 9 years old, so
Oh
like
my
grade
gosh.
4. How many years does that make it? Like 15,
Something
16
like that.
years, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it's 7. I don't even. Yeah, some like 15 to
This
16
thing,
years.
yeah, like went to the same elementary school, middle school, high school, university. We were just, we could not get rid of each other.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of friendship, though. That's how my roommate and I are. We've known each other since like 4th grade, but I can't imagine writing songs with her. So
I feel you have the worst end of the deal if you're living together. I feel that's like every piece of advice is like, don't live with your best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, we work out great. I think it's because we have the similar relationship where we can just tell each other exactly what we're feeling, and that can be reckless sometimes, but it works out pretty good for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I think that's like part of the reason we even started making songs is that I'm not really good at communicating otherwise. So it's kind of like we've known each other that long and we work with each other, but we rarely talk about like things that are not music related, because that's kind of how we express ourselves, is like through like that medium. And yeah, if we were to actually sit down and like talk, that'd be weird. So it's like
We'll just sing about it.
Exactly.
Why
So
would
I
you
think that's
ever
why
do that?
that's why we gravitate towards making the songs, because it's just like it's an easier way to express yourself, where you could say something without actually really saying it, but you are saying it. So it's, yeah.
And like every once in a blue moon, you know, we'll reach out and be like, hey man, I just want to let you know that I got your back. I'm here for whatever you need.
Yeah.
Dad won't ever admit it, but
He just looked at you like, don't do this to me right now.
yeah, I saw that. I
Don't
saw that look of like,
expose
saw the like the vein popping.
So while we're on a music kick, what are you guys listening to right now?
Yeah, it's weird. Like I was saying before, like I just care a lot about songs than like, so I used to have favorite artists when I was growing up, but now it's like just a song is a good song, I'll really listen to it. So I'm just like all over the place. I don't know, you want to handle this? Yeah.
Who have I been listening to? Let me pull out my playlist. I've been listening. I recently started doing this because Jad did it. But he has like a separate playlist for just fire songs, like not just like the entire library of like songs, but just like the like I need a bop. So we got Pink, Shawn Mendes, Demi Lovato, Fall Out Boys, Black Eyed Peas, Childish Gambino, Post Malone, Paris, Chainsmokers. Because
it's like it's I listen more so, like I think we both kind of listen more so to songwriters than artists, and like songwriters write for different artists, so we end up going to like, oh, what did this guy write or what did this girl write, and it's like, okay, this person wrote this song and they also wrote this one. So I like my playlist has so many different artists, but if you look at the writers, it's probably just like 5 to 10 writers. So it's it's more so like our favorite writers than it is our favorite.
That is definitely an interesting way to look at it. Like, I'm gonna have to try and do that now.
Yeah, it's cool. And
I'm interested to see like who's writing what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
I have a bad habit of just listening to one thing over and over.
Yes. Oh my god.
And it's interesting too, because when you start doing that, you start like when a song comes on the radio, I kind of already know, oh, this is this person who wrote this, and I'll go look it up, and like 80% of the times I'm right about it. So it's kind of nice. Yeah.
That's a superpower. That's a cool party trick. Like
I know. I would love to be that person. So cool.
A lot of times people are just like, I don't care. Like,
I feel like the thing is, like, I would be like, that's so awesome that you know that, but like, no one else would.
Yeah,
that's true.
Cool.
It takes music nerds,
I feel you either get that or you get the people. It's like, no, that artist wrote their own songs. How dare you imply that? And it's like, it's totally to be like that top level artist, you have so much on your plate. You may not have time to write like a full album's worth of music and material if you're like on tour 24/7. There's no shame in it. It's epic and it's like together.
And also like songwriting in itself takes a lot of practice and work. So it's it's almost insulting that people think you could just pull a song out of your ass. Like, no, like you actually have to sit there and work, right? It's not there's people whose job is to write songs because it's something you have to like actually master and like work
and like
at,
be really good at.
Exactly. So it's, totally.
And it's same with like being that kind of performer of like having dance routines and being able to sing at the same time and pull off these costumes and talk to people. It's so hard to talk to people.
Those are all things that need to be practiced and developed, right? So it's there's a lot more to it than people realize, and it's which is why we like songwriters, because they're kind of nobody really. I mean, nowadays it's starting to become a little more out there, like, oh, Ed Sheeran wrote this song for this person or whatever, and like people are starting to know it a little more, but historically, like, no one really knows who the songwriters are behind stuff, which is
good songwriting's like you guys said, it's very hard. You have to be vulnerable, you have to be poetic in a way and open, and it's definitely an art within itself. And kudos to every art writer. Hello, songwriter. How long have you guys been playing for?
With this band, we launched it in August, but we've been writing like the songs for about like almost 2 years at this point. Say a year and a half.
But we've been like playing music together
since like middle school, pretty much. Like we started playing instruments together and learning together at the start, and we'd play like our high school talent shows and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
And and then once high school ended, we kind of started making bands, and just with different people that we knew. And obviously when you're starting out, you know people who play instruments, but it's not everybody has the same ideas or the same vision as you. So it's just been a lot of switching things out and then realizing, oh, we could have just been doing it just us two all along. Cool.
I think there's like definitely like a feeling of like all that time that we tried to find like other members to like fill the gaps. We could have just been doing it ourselves. But I think like both of us were very unconfident about our vocal skills. And
to be fair, it's like rightfully so. Like we when we decided to start this, like we went and took vocal lessons, and our producer is a really good singer, and he always gives us tips and stuff. And he was like, he really helped us shape up and to be able to record. So without him there, like it would have been, I don't know how the hell we would have done it, to be honest, because he's just like he's really good at that stuff. And I trusted him. Once he said like, okay, this is good enough to like actually record now, then it's like, okay, like I trust you, because
you would be honest with us. You would be nice about it because you're a gentle and kind human being. But
and he's been recording his own vocals for like almost 10 years at this point, like since he was in high school and before. So it's like he knows his stuff when it comes to that. And so when he said it was like, okay, you guys are like, this is sounding okay now, then that's kind of where we decided to jump in. But
he's kind of like the multi-talented savant who just like, I instantly know what the harmony for that part is. Yes, I can play a million different instruments, and I produce and mix and master.
And he went to school for like composition and stuff. So
oh my
like,
gosh. He can do it all.
He's just like a musical, like he just like knows everything, which is great. And that's why I really like working with him. And like we obviously love collaborating with other people, but when it comes to production, like I almost always want him involved, just because he not only like do we come up with ideas and go like that sounds cool, there's always a reason behind it. Like he knows the history behind where things come, and to me that's really important to just know like just the origin of different songs, different melodies, different genres, and like just being able to do stuff respectfully, because there's like, don't want to get too much into this topic, but a lot of times there's cultural appropriation that happens in music. There's a lot of just people thinking like, oh, I can make a country song, but no, you've never actually made a country song. Or, oh, I can make a hip hop song, but like you don't know where hip hop comes from. Whereas like with him,
it's important.
He knows his stuff, and if it's something he doesn't know, he will actually go research that genre or like whatever we want to dive into, and he'll get to know it before even starting to work on it. And I think like music and culture like that, like it deserves that type of attention and that type of respect, which is why I really like working with him, because he takes takes it super seriously. Like music is his entire life, and that's kind of the kind of person I want to work with. So that's yeah.
That's admirable. That's definitely the kind of person that that's incredible.
For sure. And also you guys could have totally fooled me because I think you guys have some phenomenal vocals going on there.
I would have never known that you guys were.
It took a lot of work and a lot of takes and a lot of practice, and we still have to practice every single day and try to get to where we want to be. But
I think that's one of the things I am grateful for is if we hadn't failed so many times, like with other bands, not necessarily because like they weren't good or anything like that, but if we hadn't gotten to that point of frustration, I don't think we ever would have tried. So I'm grateful for those experiences.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a silver lining, right? And you can't always get it right on the first try. So.
And I think like you guys said with songwriting too, like harmonies and vocals, and like people don't get how hard it is to do that. Like I couldn't do that.
I mean, it's like anything else. You have to put in the time, right? And it's just the earlier you start, the more of a head start you kind of have on people. And there's some people out there who are just like naturally talented and they just have that intuition, and some people don't, and you have to work at it. And to me, like I found like with some things, there's some things where I don't really practice, but like I kind of have a decent skill set in, and there's stuff where like vocals where I have to practice because I'm not just naturally, like my voice was not naturally there, and that's something I have to really, really put into work. So it's kind of finding that balance of like one of like the skills you have, and two, the skills other people you work with have, and kind of try to complement each other. And nobody does it on their own. I mean, some people do, and there's like 1 in a million type of genius who could like do everything, but usually it takes a team, and it takes a lot of people picking up the slack where you kind of like where your weaknesses are, right? So
we can't all be our producer.
Yeah.
If it
He's
wasn't
like 1 in a million.
If it wasn't obvious, we love him to death.
Yeah.
So
No, that's really good to it seems like you guys have like a good group, like you guys obviously, and then your producer. That's awesome.
Yeah, and while we're on that topic, there's also our creative director Ziad, who he does like all our artwork and stuff. And we kind of, when we wanted to launch this project, we hit him up because he's a photographer as well, and he used to like take pictures of our old bands, and he helped direct a few like music videos and stuff before. So he was like friends with James first, I believe. He met him like through school, and then I got to know him after that. And it's kind of like, it's a good, like it's everything we do is pretty much the four of us. So like music side, it's us and our producer, and then creative, like visual wise, it's us and Ziad. And he's just another person I want to shout out. Like it's not just 3 people, it's a 4 people team kind of behind all this.
Because I think like, from all our past experiences and, having members come and go, and a lot of them, like they're family, even though we're not playing music together, we're always going to be family, always going to love them. But it was like, this was like the first time it felt like a team effort where it's like, there's no ego involved. It's just like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And so it's super refreshing. It's amazing working with him. He definitely helped shape what we wanted to be as a band. He was kind of like the train tracks to our train.
Yeah. And we have like a group chat that just every single day there's like ideas being fired off and stuff with him, and he just like, we talk at like 5-6 a.m. and he's always up and like replies.
He is relentlessly dedicated.
Yeah, so
that is awesome.
It's really awesome. Yeah,
and he also built a really cool aesthetic for you guys. Like, it's you guys have the greatest, like really cool aesthetic with like all your single covers and stuff. Like,
thank you.
Great job.
Yeah, I think the thing we align with him on a lot is he likes making stuff cool physically and then taking a picture of it, and that's kind of what we wanted to do with this, is like make stuff a mix of like physical and digital media type of stuff, keeping like the whole touching, like keep in touch aesthetic of physical media. And he really likes doing that kind of stuff. So it's I think it's a good match because we had the same vision for that kind of
and a lot of it kind of like, I think we're fortunate to be working with such talented people to help us on this project, but I think a lot of it is very much like DIY of us like coming up with the songs and doing all 4 of us doing a lot of basically everything ourselves. So it's very much that kind of like, scrapbooky kind of collage feel that we want to go for with the artwork. And he's just like, like chef's kiss.
Literally.
You can
It's
certainly
just-
tell that like he's doing a really good job. Like Celine said, the aesthetic is like totally there.
That's good
Yeah.
to hear. We can let him know. We can let him know.
Please do.
I was gonna say, speaking of like art and like what you guys are doing, we have to talk about your TikTok.
I knew that was coming.
We have to. I just think it is so funny. The one that had me rolling was the Big Bird.
I knew you were
lookalike.
gonna say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That one is just so funny. I had
So
to say
good.
it. We love
Thank
that
you.
your personality shines on there as well, because
There we
Yeah,
go.
I like TikTok for that reason, where it's just like it could just be something really stupid that you
Yeah.
just throw out there, and it doesn't have to
Yeah.
look like super professional. And yeah, I don't know. I have like a bit of a love-hate relationship with TikTok, because I find a lot of the times, I mean, like ideally, realistically, putting a lot more music content on there would be nice, but also that stuff just for some reason the algorithm just doesn't like when you post like anything that has to do
Yes,
with
like-
your actual job.
Being creative on our platform.
Yeah. So,
Excuse me?
So we try
How
to
dare
take like
you?
so we try to take those like trends and cater them to like our personalities as much as possible, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's just fun though to just make
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah.
videos.
It's like getting to pretend to be a transformer or jumping on random trend. It's fun because I think when we started, we were like so like, oh, I think that like one shot is like 1 second too much, or like, oh, I don't know if this content is good, and like so much like freaking out. And now it's just like, ha, that's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Let's blend it.
And that's kind of what I was trying to say, is like at first when we were trying to push a lot of music content on there, it was kind of stressful and going like, oh, we just put in like this many hours trying to make this video look nice and it didn't get as many views. And now it's more like, let's just do
The
stuff for
stupider
fun
the
and throw it
better.
out
The more
there.
stupid the better.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. And it's like,
honestly.
and even if it's like not like many newer people might be seeing it, like the fact that our listeners are following us on there and they love the videos, like that just
Yeah, like
that's the best part,
yeah,
right? So,
that's like one of my favorite things is just like sharing it over to like Instagram or Twitter,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And just like seeing their reactions, because that's like
The
we're
best
we're
part.
dumb people, and
Yeah.
we're happy that us being dumb can
And
entertain
we've
people.
been making dumb videos since like we could remember.
Yeah.
Even in high school. I think they're all like privated now, so no one can really find them. But we used to make a lot of stupid like YouTube
We want to
videos.
see those. Okay.
I have to see if they're still up, because we used to work like with another work. It was just us and a friend hanging out, and he had a camera, so I wouldn't really call it work. But so he uploaded them all to his channel, and I don't know if he deleted the channel or if he privated it, but if I could get him to send the links,
Please
I
send
could pull
them
up some
over.
ridiculous
Send them on over.
that is super funny.
Speaking of those videos, I noticed something in your videos with your LED lights. Is there like a little strip that is a different color?
Yeah, it just broke
Okay.
for some reason.
So mine did the same thing and it like drove me insane. And like I of course took to Twitter and was like, this is bullshit. I can't fix it. And if you do that, like they'll contact you and they'll be like, hey, how can we fix this? And they sent me a brand new one.
Yo,
You guys gotta do that.
Yeah, I should let them know.
Definitely do it.
Yeah.
They'll send you a brand new one because it's like a malfunction or something.
Oh,
And
I see.
It
Yeah,
drives me insane. Like that one little piece of different
I know.
light. It's the worst.
Yeah, I think it's what it is. It's like the blue bulb in it is just not working, because
Yeah.
like I have it on purple and it turns red, and then I switch
Red,
it to like
yeah.
some
And
other
especially
color.
That's color, and I don't
Yeah.
want red strip in it. Like
Exactly.
Ah.
Yeah, that's good to know though.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
thought
It's
it was like because they were all in a row. I thought like something was just wrong with my wall there.
Yeah.
Like something messed them up. But that's good to
Yeah.
know that I could complain
yeah,
to
just
somebody.
let them know on Twitter, and they will hook you up with a new one.
Everyone tag them in the comments. Just
Right.
bring them
you
out.
will attack.
Oh,
I sure was that person. I definitely was. But hey, it got me a new one. So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
You've gotten like your shoes and things, like new shoes and things like that. For
I've
that
gotten
kind of thing.
stuff just from. It's never been like me complaining. It's always been like something where this shouldn't have happened. So
Yeah.
like you just tweet about it, and they're usually when you email customer support, nobody gets back to you. But when you and
tweet
say,
it,
hey,
yeah.
Yeah,
And like I wasn't
Right away.
necessarily mean about it. I was just like, I don't know how to fix this. Can you tell me how to fix this? And they were like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a malfunction. So
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, now you can get that fixed.
Now I know. Yeah.
Homie.
Thank you.
No problem.
That's such an observant thing to notice too.
I was like watching the TikTok.
I love
I
that.
was like, God, mine did the same thing.
I was wondering if anybody would notice that. And
Now we
I
know.
did. I'm
Whatever.
sorry.
No, it's okay. Now I know. That's good.
That's amazing. But you guys mentioned that you do have a new single coming out. Can we hear more
Yes.
about it? Let's hear about it.
Yeah. So it's supposed to come out February 26th. I think this was the first song we ever recorded, actually, right? Yeah, I think.
Oh wow.
Stuck on you.
No, I think this was
First-
after.
oh yeah,
it
true.
was, yeah.
Yeah, this was this is the first song we ever wrote. The song's called Doubt Myself. I wrote it about a relationship that I used to be in, where it was very like hot and cold, very like on and off. And like we'd be like in the same room together, and it would just be like I would look at her face and it would just go from like so bright to just like all of a sudden like just like completely dead. So I started writing the song like in that period, and I started writing it as like oh, you know, we've gone through all these hard times, but then we made up, and then things were great, but then we broke up. So so then I changed the song. I kept a couple of the pieces, but figured out, you know, what to turn the song into, and it became this song.
Yeah.
And Jad made sure that it was
All the useless parts were cut out.
yeah.
And, the things that should be repeated were repeated.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I really like the production on that song as well. Like,
Yeah.
I started off like the demo on my phone with GarageBand because I didn't like over lockdown and stuff. Luckily, I was able to get a new laptop and like a setup here so we could like actually work on some demos. But before then, my laptop was pretty bad, so I was using GarageBand on my phone. So for that one, I like made a really just like weird, shitty demo on my phone. Then we brought it to Sungjung, and he like there's some ideas where like I specifically wanted something like that, and he like totally nailed the idea I had, and then he brought in some new elements to it too. So I really like
And
the
then
production.
he
on
cut
that
all
song.
of the bad ideas out. And
Yeah,
he was like,
exactly.
how about this?
This instead. Yeah. So it went through a few different steps, but I like the end product for this one. And I feel like we have some songs that are we were kind of experimenting with different styles and stuff with the songs that are already out. And because we come from like a rock background, some songs have a bit more of like a rock edge to them. Some of them are more poppy. This one I think is like a little more on the poppy side, but still has a bit of that. It's closer to like Stuck on You, I think, than any of the other songs. And that's kind of like that's what I would call like our main sound, is kind of like the softer, poppier stuff. But once in a while, it's fun to do some just going back to like our roots and stuff. But
but another soft boy pop song.
Yeah.
And you said February 26th, right?
I believe so. I hope that's right. But I think
Okay. Everyone though, keep an eye on your Spotify's on that date.
Yeah.
That is very, very exciting.
Thank you. Hope you guys like it. So
yeah, I'm sure. Everything that you guys have put out so far is catchy, and like I was praising earlier, everything is super good.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
And it's like very exciting to like kind of watch your journey, and from Stuck on You to Infinity, like let's see where this goes. It's definitely a journey I'm excited to watch.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
It's fun living this journey.
Yeah.
Most days.
I think people don't like pick up on the fact that most of the time I'm just pretending to be mean to James. So I just want to clear it out. Like, it's kind of like the default. Whatever he says something, I'll just roll my eyes and like not acknowledge him. But I care about him. It's just like I just wanted to put that out there. It's not. I'm not actually mean to him, but it's just like hard to break out of the habit of being mean to him. So hopefully he knows that even though I am being mean to him, it's from it's not from that kind of place. I feel like actions speak louder than words. So just to clear the air.
Just to clear
Just
the air.
soak in that like one nice thing he said because he's not gonna do it for a while now.
Yeah, he's like,
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all like you guys are recording it. I don't have to do it. I don't have to say it
Whenever
over
you
again.
need to come back to it, James, we got you.
Exactly. You could come and listen to this.
It's on record now. So
Honey Pop
Exactly.
exclusive.
no taking
Yeah. Jad doesn't hate James.
that.
But yeah, what else do you guys have going on right now?
We were thinking of putting an EP together as well after the single is out. Mostly a collection of just to have like give a home to all the singles that we've put out so far. Because there've been like 5, I think, so far.
Something like that.
5 or 6.
Yeah,
and-
five.
Yeah, so the EP itself, I think, might end up having 8 to 9 songs, and so it'll be like a few that people haven't heard. And yeah, just hopefully giving a place where they could all live. So if you want to listen to all of our songs, you could just hit that EP up. And we're supposed to be shooting a music video. We were supposed to like start it earlier this month, but then stuff kind of went on lockdown where we are. So that's not happening at the moment, but we're still trying to pretty much like day by day following up, seeing like how things are and when realistically we could actually get it done. Ziad like assembled a team of people himself, and he took care of all of that, which is nice because in previous bands we would always like be the ones doing a lot of the work when it came to music videos, like shooting, editing, figuring out location and spots. And he kind of just took that and said like, I got this, you guys don't worry about this. So he's he's been dealing with it, and I trust him to deal with it, which is nice. It's nice to be able to let go some stuff and be like, okay, I trust this person to do their thing, and I don't have to like be too stressed out about it. So yeah, I'm not really sure when that ends up actually happening, but like I said, we're checking every day to see when it's safe and when places start opening up again.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. Other than that, just writing songs pretty much.
We've got, I think, around 20-25 drafts of new songs.
Nice.
A lot of them are probably just going to get scrapped. We'll like look back at it in a couple months and be like, that ain't it. No.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things I'm really excited to record. So as soon as things open up, we're back in the studio.
That would be nice. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, me
I
too.
know, I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Shows and doing things.
I know. People just need to like stay inside and wear a mask. It's like we could have been. The thing that really frustrates me about like our situation here in Toronto is like over the summer we went down pretty low. Like we were only getting 80 cases a day, and it was going down, and then things kind of opened up a little bit and got a little looser, and now we're up to like 2,000-3,000 4,000 cases a day, and it's just so hopeless. But at the same time trying to hold on to hope, but it's just people just need to chill sad. And just oh my god, just a little bit of sacrifice goes a long way, and I don't know why people don't.
Yeah, it's crazy. That. I can't believe it's almost been a year of this. It's
I know that's the frustrating part. It's like time goes by regardless, and there's people just wasting time, and there's people who are trying to like make the best of the situation, and it's just sucks that it just sucks to me that the people who are trying their hardest to keep things together are the ones being punished by other people's actions. It's just, I guess that's how the world works, but it just sucks to like, oh, by doing the right thing, you're being screwed over as well. And meanwhile, other people are just don't care about others and are killing people through their actions, as well as just like ruining society for everybody. So and that kind of sucks.
And
definitely.
Even things like smaller businesses who like opened up for the first time in 2020 aren't able to get any funding or relief funding because they don't have, they start in 2020 and they need their 2019 like paycheck. They need to show how much they made in 2019. But because they started in 2020, they can't get it. Or even like kids. There are kids born during this.
And kids going to school, like education. Like I'm worried for this next generation of like doctors and shit. Like I don't want to it's like if you're going to med school online, like I'm sure you're learning a lot of cool things, but I also
not the same.
I hope you also get training later because it seems a little it seems a little sketchy. But yeah.
I never thought of that. Now I'm never going to go to the doctor again.
Oh yeah, this is where my mind
Google
works.
It yourself. That's what they're doing.
I mean, AI seems to be getting pretty crazy, so maybe like robots will just be doctors, and
There we go.
yeah,
Robots will be
and it's all
doctors.
good. Yeah,
That's true. But it is crazy, like even to think about kids. Like I have young nieces, and it's like this is the only reality that they know right
Yeah.
now, which is so crazy. Like
it's
they don't
insane.
get to socialize or anything. It's
Yeah. And my
so
younger
yeah. If you're
brother
listening, stay inside.
Yeah. My younger brother started university, and he's like doing his freshman year from home, which is just super weird to see. Yeah. So it's
Yeah. You don't get that like typical college experience. And
no, he just sits in his
Yeah.
room and online lectures and online exams, and he
Like,
he hasn't even been to the
freshman year
campus.
all about going to parties anyway. Like,
It's an experience, right? So
Yeah,
it's,
like,
that was my
yeah.
freshman year.
all
Yeah.
that. Oh my god.
I don't remember it.
Me neither.
Our school was not
My
a party
mom.
school. Our school was a very like, it was kind of a commuter school, and they didn't mess around. We couldn't really party at our school. Like
Really?
your grades would just like tank if you
Well,
even tried.
You were in a like a proper difficult program.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
I was the humanities. I was set. I was,
yeah, I mean, I still only studied the day before. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, it wasn't a party school though. I see some party schools out there, and I'm like, wow, this is quite like people missing out on that. I understand,
Yeah.
but like our school, like where my brother's going, like he's not missing out on much, but still sucks that like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still an experience nonetheless.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Yes.
It
Did
was
you
super
guys
fun.
have any questions or anything?
Do you have any questions? Any?
Questions for you? When can we be
Or-
back?
Whenever.
Anytime.
When you have your next single out, we are down to listen to it together. Maybe do an acoustic performance. I know we were
Ooh.
talking about something like that, like with artists. I think that'd be super cool.
Dude, love that.
Yes.
We could send you guys like the next song if you want to hear it early.
Yeah, please. I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I love everything. Like I've said, I feel like I'm just here like bowing down. But you guys are doing it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot, and really appreciate you guys taking the time and inviting us on and just giving us the time of day. The first time we even like message you and talk to you, that was really kind of you, and you totally didn't have to do that. So thank you for thank you for that. Yeah.
Well, thank you
There's been
for coming
a few
on.
people who reach out. I just actually believe in you guys. So
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that means a lot. Thank you.
I'm gonna tear up.
Just gonna. But yeah, thanks everyone who is watching. I appreciate it, and check out Keep in Touch. They are incredible. Very, as you saw, very nice guys and very talented. So see what they're up to. We'll link all the socials down below. And yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.